Tonight, after 2 long years of waiting, what happened to Haleigh Cummings? I want to go out to Art Harris, investigative reporter. Art, it has been 2 long years since we have gotten to know Haleigh Cummings. I want you to take us back to the very beginning, the evening of February 9th, 2009.
Imagine night in the swamp, on the edge of the swamp in Satsuma, Florida. It is 3:27 a.m. when a 17-year-old babysitter picks up the phone and calls 911 to report a little girl who lives there with her and her boyfriend is missing. The back door is open and she doesn't know where this little girl is. You hear on a 911 tape the father screaming at her, calling her bad words. He is so angry, he's furious. And it goes downhill from there, Gene.
To Art Harris, investigative journalist, this was just the beginning of everything, and law enforcement really didn't waste any time, because once Ronald Cummings called in that 911 call, law enforcement came to the scene. From the very beginning, they didn't think she ran away. They thought it was an abduction.
They thought this was somebody close to the family, someone who had to have access to that trailer, knew their comings and goings, and knew the whereabouts, knew the habits of this little girl. So they were there. They polygraphed the whole family. They brought in dogs. They picked up a scent. They checked dumpsters. Every dumpster in the county was searched. Dogs went down a railroad track, Gene. They picked up a scent and lost it. Suddenly, there is nothing. They have a father taking a polygraph. They have Misty Croslin taking a polygraph. We learn later, as I report on the Bald Truth, artharris.com, she's flunked 4 polygraphs. That was the first of many. And each time, a different story.
To Art Harris, investigative reporter, you know, it was last April, and we were saying hallelujah, because they're going to solve this case. And it all started after Tommy and Misty and Ronald were arrested for drug deals, prescription drug charges. They were incarcerated. Tommy took a polygraph, so his attorney says, and several days later, he takes authorities out to the boat ramp.
That's right, Gene. The polygraph given by a retired FBI agent in Jacksonville that I reported on artharris.com, he flunked miserably, and they did not reveal that. But he goes out to the river and takes law enforcement, shows them where he says he went down to the river with cousin Joe Overstreet of Tennessee. No proof Joe did anything. And Joe dropped Haleigh in the river, anchored down by a brick or, one of those, the concrete blocks that you build jack-up trailers with, and a yellow rope. Yellow rope later found on the door and in the car of a van that Tommy Croslin was driving. In fact, his wife, Lindsy, gave them permission to search the house, and that's when they found it. Now, no charges, only suspicion, Gene. You have Misty then flunking another polygraph, a 4th one, in front of law enforcement who are so eager for her to say anything that can be confirmed by forensic evidence. Just one thing. She's lied so many times that they've got to have some physical proof. I report to artharris.com that they offer her immunity, complete immunity in the Haleigh case, if she will give them something that leads them to a body or remains. She does not do it. She doesn't take it, says she doesn't know. So she has gone so many ways, has told so many stories, and has now retracted the story she told that she came home, she was at home that night and saw Joe and Tommy in the trailer and heard Haleigh scream, and that Joe took Haleigh out, and that's when Tommy says he went to the river and watched the body go in.
So Art Harris, what are your sources telling you is truly the latest in this investigation?
Well, they have gone through 5,000 tips, but they are still focusing closely on this small group. Misty Cummings, Misty Croslin, her brother Tommy, and now I am reporting on artharris.com that another sibling has flubbed or shown deception in a polygraph, and that would be her brother Timmy Croslin.
So say that again. Your sources are telling you that Timmy Croslin, who I believe moved to Massachusetts?
He moved to Massachusetts right after this happened and moved back to Florida. Now his wife Chelsea tells me that they're willing to take another polygraph, that there's no reason that he would have anything to do with this, that he's got 3 daughters. Why would he want to, quote, kidnap another little girl? It doesn't make sense, but I'm just reporting what I've been told, Gene, and they're holding it close to their vest. But I can tell you also that in a ride together from the St. Johns County Jail, sources are telling me that it was Tommy Croslin who told Misty to make up the cousin Joe killed Haleigh story.
You know, Misty's mother, she's had a lot of problems on her own. Art Harris, investigative journalist. Misty's mother has been in jail, in and out of jail in the last couple of years. Did she ever take a polygraph?
I don't think she took a polygraph, but I've talked to Lisa Croslin many times, and she comes off as such a sweet lady. But I can tell you that this is a family that sticks together. They have all lied about so many things, and she told me that it was her mother, Lisa Croslin, who Misty called first that night, not 911.
Well, I think that's a really good point.